Good evening. I'm Dr. Michael Mimnaugh, and I, along with my associate, Mr. Kevin Smith, will be your instructors for this course, Physical Science 1000, Science, Society, and Man. I've been a faculty member at Chicago State University for 30 years now, and for 18 of those years I was also chairman of the Department of Chemistry and Physics. When I decided to step down from being chairperson, I had my choice of any course in the department that I wanted to teach, and I chose this one. I chose this environmental science course because environmental science brings together all the other science disciplines that I've learned throughout my life, namely chemistry, physics, and biology, and it helps to bring them to bear to understanding our planet and our environment and helping us to understand what it's going to take to help save the planet. Physical Science 1000 is a 3-credit-hour course for 9 science majors. The course has no prerequisites and can be counted towards fulfilling the natural science requirement of the general education program. The course is designed to explore the interrelationships between Earth's environment and its inhabitants. It is our hope that as you go through this course, you'll become sufficiently informed of many of the important issues facing the world today, both locally, regionally, nationally, and globally, in terms of the environment, and that as a result of the knowledge you gain from this course, that you'll be able to intelligently evaluate and assess what other people are saying about the environment and the issues that are being debated by our congressmen and other legislators. Part of general education, or the goal of general education, is to make a more literate and informed citizen. And we hope as a result of this course you will get the proper information and the ability to properly evaluate, critically think through, and be able to decide for yourself whether or not the information that people are giving you and the positions that they are taking, if they are running for office, are in accord with your own beliefs about how the planet should be governed and taken care of. So, we hope that you have a good time in the course. We hope that you find it as interesting as we think you'll find it, and we look forward to working with you throughout the semester in this course. All right, now for some basic mechanics of the course. The grade will be based on 4 different components. The first component is readings from the textbook. Our textbook for this course is Environmental Science by Wright and Borse. I must say, I think it's a very good book. They update it every couple of years, which pretty much is what you have to do with an environmental book like this, because the laws and issues are changing so quickly that you really need that update to be knowledgeable about the area. So each week, each module, you will be assigned 1 to 1.5 chapters of the book to read on your own. At the end of the week, you will be assessed on your understanding and comprehension of the material you read via a timed multiple choice quiz. Each quiz will be worth 30 points. There will be 10 quizzes altogether, 1 for each of the 10 modules in the course, for a total of 300 points. Each quiz will be available starting at midnight on Friday, and you will have until close of midnight on Saturday to take the quiz. I strongly encourage you to make sure that you've read all the material, as well as read all of the postings by your fellow students for the articles that they've written up that week. More about that in a little bit, before taking your quiz. The second component of the course is to find and summarize an article or a video from the internet and discuss how it relates to that week's module, that is, the material that you're reading for that week. This can be relatively easy, especially going online, to find any number of articles that will relate to the material for that particular week. Each week there will be 5 or 6 of you that are assigned to do this assignment on a rotating basis. I would encourage you to download and look at the handout entitled Online Discussions, and it will give you a little more detail about how that will occur, as well as who is assigned to do what week. When you are assigned to do this, it'll be your responsibility to, as I say, find and summarize an article or a video from the internet. You are to write a half-page summary of the article and a half-page discussion of how that article relates to that week's, one of the topics in that week's assigned readings. You must upload your article as well as your discussion and summary of the article by midnight of each week. So it would behoove you then to get started on it as early as possible. We are making available to you the rotation for the entire summer, so you'll know what week you're up for your assignment. So I would suggest that beginning on Sunday, as soon as the module for that week opens, that you look at the material, read through it, or at least skim through it so you know what some of the topics are, so you have enough time to find something online, summarize it, and upload it for the rest of the class to read. Every person in the class will have 2 assignments during the summer. Each assignment will be worth 50 points. Assuming you do both parts of the assignment, that is the summary and the discussion, and it's on an appropriate article, you'll get full value for each of those articles for a total of 100 points. The third component of the class is class participation. Every student must respond to any of the 2 articles, or must respond to any 2 of the 5 or 6 articles that are posted each week by their fellow students from the previous number 2. Your responses must be at least 4 sentences long and fall basically into one of 4 categories. Yes, I agree with the article or summary, student summary says about the article and why, or no, I don't agree with what the article or summary about the article says and why, or I see the issue differently and why, or I have a personal experience or knowledge of the issue, and then explain it. Both of your responses to the articles are due by midnight of Saturday of each week. You'll receive 5 points for each response for a total of 10 points each week for 10 weeks for a total of 100 points. And then finally, final reflection paper. The reflection paper is basically a 1-page paper reflecting on what is the most meaningful or interesting thing that you learned in the class and why you felt that way. The reflection paper is worth 50 points and is due by July 31st. As you can see, between the class participation, the final reflection paper, and the class discussion paper, you can accumulate about 250 points, or almost half of your grade, in the course simply by participating and being involved with the class. I would expect that all students would spend or visit the course at least 2 or 3 times a week. And finally, I'd like to provide you with a few hints for doing well in the course. 2 biggies. The first of all is get started early each week. As soon as the module opens on Sunday or Monday, look at what the assigned readings are and get started on them. Some of the chapters are a little bit longer than others, so it may take some time to read through the material, but you want to make sure that you leave yourself sufficient time to do that and not cram right before you have to take the quiz at the end of the week. And the second big hint is get involved and participate in the course. If you're doing an article for that week, obviously you're going to be involved in looking up an appropriate article, hopefully an interesting article that will not only that will intrigue you as well as your fellow students. And then I encourage all the students to respond to these articles, as many as possible, and to contribute your own ideas to the discussion. I've found over the years that students have many useful, insightful, and thoughtful comments to make about many of the topics in this course, and I have learned a lot from them. So please contribute and participate throughout the course. It'll be more interesting for you as well as for the rest of the class. And then finally, if you do have any problems, be sure to contact me or Mr. Smith. If there are questions or issues with regard to the content material of the course, address those questions to me. You'll note on the syllabus I have 2 email addresses. Please contact me through both email addresses. One I use when I'm at work and at the university, and the other one I use when I'm at home. So contact me at both email addresses. If you have a question about the mechanics of the web course itself, uploading, how to post something, or accessing materials, anything that has to do with the mechanics of operating a web course, address those comments to Mr. Smith. He's my web guru and is very knowledgeable about this mode of teaching. So he is a font of knowledge, and I'm sure will steer you through any problem you may have. So then, I look forward to working with you in this course. I look forward to your comments and your articles, and I hope that you'll find this course enjoyable and thoughtful and provocative, and provide information and knowledge that will be fruit for many future discussions. Have a good evening.